build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance. Hello everybody, welcome to Longbangers. I'm Matty.
Hello, I'm Colin.
How's it going, Colin?
That was dead chirpy for a Sunday morning after a day like yesterday, wasn't it?
After a 4-0 defeat. Aye. But that was, I would take that as evidence of us taking on feedback, so we're not sending folk to sleep immediately at the start of the episode.
That's it.
We'll do that later on in the episode, so don't worry, if you try to get to sleep, we'll still help you.
No,
but
stick with us, guys. Persevere. See if you can get through the end.
That's the first couple of minutes. No John today. John, he had some some arse trouble, I think it is.
Oh, we're going into the detail.
Well,
I didn't know. Not as his line manager, I didn't know the actual specifics.
Aye, he never verified specifically what it is, so I'm just drawing my own conclusions.
Just assuming.
Aye, we're just assuming that's what it is. Why would it not be? I think a bit of a grim day yesterday, Colin. We've got loads and loads of comments in for Twitter, so I think we'll spend the bulk of the episode talking about that. But before we do this, we'll just get your take on the game. What were your thoughts?
So it wasn't at the game. I did see it though, watched the whole game, and I was pretty disappointed overall. And we've spoken about before, not going through there expecting anything and all that, because of the gulf and finances, and then you would assume quality because of that. They've got the new manager in as well, which generally gets you a bit. Players then start displaying different behaviours for what they might have if we'd got them 2 weeks ago. But I was disappointed in the, and this is going to sound really harsh, but it was almost like it looked like a lack of effort. And I know it's probably know that, right? I'm sure they were trying, but they looked miles off it. Now, I'm not saying they weren't trying for anybody that might get their back up about that, but fuck me, they were. If they were trying, they were fucking miles off it.
Aye, disguising it well, weren't they? What do you think that was?
Well, I think so. I wasn't surprised at the starting lineup, really, but it's a bit gung ho.
Yeah,
at Ibrox, and I know we've spoken about consistency, selection, and all that, and I'm obviously on board with that. But it feels like naive to think that we'll go and play your game against a team with, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 times the budget, that we can do that. And we could have kept this information, but maybe just no went like 4 strikers.
Yeah.
And go a more solid midfield. But and then we're still trying to play it out for the back. And I think these games, and it's not just yesterday that showed that, because it happened last season against Celtic and Rangers. I don't think we've got the players that can shift the ball quick enough out for the back against good teams.
Yeah.
It's fine against the rest, but against these guys that are better players, they can't get out of their feet, and they were running into players yesterday. And it's like they were going, oh fuck, what's he doing there? Because when I play against another team, I've got time to go and do this and that. And they've just not got the time, and they've not got it. And you can't say, well, you could say they'll learn for it. But this isn't the first time.
Yeah.
So they're no learning for it, because it happened with Rangers and Celtic games last season.
Is it like how long it takes to learn from it? So do you know, like you can know that you're no great at something, right? So like when you first start driving, you I can't drive, right?
Yeah.
But after your first 3 or 4 lessons, you're a bit better, but you're still at the point where you can sit your test.
Yeah.
And it takes a bit of time to get it, and you know what you need to be doing. Like I know my steering needs to be better, or I need to be better at reversing or whatever, right? So you know what the flaw is, but it's the practice and the time in the car that gets you to the point where you're natural at it, but you don't have to think about it. Is that where we are under Montgomery? The players are trying it, but they're 3 weeks into their driving lessons rather than just about to sit their test.
So that's the Montgomery, but I mean, we were talking about players that were here last season that
Mhm.
were having the same problem. And I think it's not bad if you're talking about young folk there. I think
Yeah,
what we're talking about here is this is experienced players that, and so it's almost at the point where you go, are they ever going to be an experienced driver?
aye,
I don't, you know what I mean? It's and I'm not saying because I think Joe Newell can do it, and he did on occasion manage to turn and get past the defender. But if he's then got any options or anything like that, and I'm not saying he'd done it all the time. By the way, I'm not excluding him for it, but he was probably the one that done more than the others. It was like the ball would come out for the defence and he would flick it past round the corner and all the terms, round past the guy pressing. But most of them just couldn't. It came what it actually looked like. And this is going to sound ridiculous to say because most of them had been there before, but it looked like they walked out and went, "Phew, fucking Ranger strips, fuck me." You know, I think Johnson actually said that. Lee Johnson, to bring Lee back into the conversation, that when I can't remember who we lost, if it was Celtic or Rangers, but it was like they've basically been beat all through their life. Other youth
aye,
team, other youth days, all the way up, and they expect to get beat here. And it was almost like again that they expected to get beat, and they went, or they went, "Fuck, that's Rangers." Now, what we got to do, like a fear almost. It was just miles off it, and that's not for me to say. I was expecting to go there and win. Like I kind of predicted to win the other night on the thing, but that's just what you do, eh?
aye.
But you almost just want a bit of fight. Um, that's what disappointed me. I heard you on the radio last night, and I think the boy Rory Loy said he was talking about Callum Davidson and saying folk moan about going there and sitting in and fighting for a, 0-0
Point, aye.
versus getting a doing sort of thing. And I didn't think the point was great because obviously you'd rather draw than get pumped. But if we're going there gung ho, like what the formation and the side that was put out was, I'd like to have seen us going a bit gung ho.
Aye.
Whereas we didn't. We went out there with a formation and an intent and then got on the pitch and just didn't.
It's like the froze. I think you made a good point there about that sort of like the fear because that's what it looked like, and
Yeah.
it's where you look at your experienced players that are in the team. So like Joe Newell, Diego, Hanlon, Marshall, and you need them to be everybody.
Boyle.
A Boyle, yeah. It's like it's not like
But
we've got
Alf,
aye,
we've got loads of experience in that team.
yeah, and you need them to be making sure that doesn't happen. And again, like Hanlon's had some heavy defeats at Ibrox, but he's also played in some wins there. Like he knows you can go there and win. And I'm not just calling out Hanlon for it, but I for yesterday was so frustrated. I know Montgomery after the game was talking about like some positives, and he reckoned the second goal was against the run of play. I just didn't see it. I thought we put together a couple of decent moves in the first half, but we were so passive, and it's like nobody won their individual battle. Like a one-on-one, you couldn't think of one player that had the better of
No.
the Rangers player in the team.
Or I can't even think. I think I asked you separately, maybe on a, I can't remember if it was direct to you or a group chat, but who gets pass marks? And you were into a couple of subs as a maybe,
Aye,
and that's purely because they were not on the pitch very long.
yeah,
Because that's the only reason you start with pass marks, I suppose, and what you doing, or up, and
aye.
and maybe they weren't on long enough to lose enough points. But even at that,
And we'll come on and I think in the listener comments we've got loads of stuff about the formation and stuff like that. And you were talking about the BBC, talking about the setup. I think you could set up any way you want if your players didn't turn up, as we did yesterday. You're asking for trouble, and it's basic stuff like making a 5 yard pass. Do you know that we were getting these things wrong, passing the ball straight at play, running into players that you mentioned, kind of getting the ball straight away. And you talk about like players trying, which is the other thing that you mentioned. I lost count of the amount of times that we would get the ball and there'd be two Rangers players on your man. They would lose it, and the Rangers player get the ball when nobody near him, and it happened all game. And you think, well, how that has to come down to application and work rate that you can they're working harder than us. If they can get two men on one man and still find space and run clear and not have anybody near them, that's got to be down to work rate. It has to be.
Yeah.
Because it's just folk making the effort to get stuck in. So it was frustrating. I thought Marshall, again, we've got question marks over Marshall. I think the first two goals, definitely, he could have done better with. I don't know what your views are there.
The second one I thought went down really slowly. But even at that, we're blaming the goalie there. Like he did, and he maybe looked a bit blocked and all that, so he was trying to hedge his bets. But it was the bit before it was a bit shit as well. Like it always like the goalie's got to get the blame, but before it, it's like, what are we doing? Just get rid of it. Like just, and I know it's like that's not the Hibs way, we want to play and all that, but just pass it then instead of get rid of it. Because what are you doing? Like just hanging about with the ball on the edge of your box. It was just really poor to watch. It was a hard watch. I watched it right to the end. I'm glad I wasn't there.
Same here.
Because you get kept in. They were in there. I spoke to my brother-in-law was there. They got kept in to the 5:15 as well. Even though there's been metal barriers outside to direct you back to your bus, kept them into 5:15, which is just like extra punishment.
Aye, horrendous. Like getting detention, isn't it? As if you've suffered enough. Where do you stand on the formation point?
What do you mean? Like, what do I think about it?
Aye, do you think so? Was Montgomery naive going with 4-4-2?
4-2-4, yeah.
4-4,
yeah. I think so, and I don't think you need. I think formations bore me, right? I hear chat about this even at my lass's football night, fuck's sake, right? But it's actually just be more solid. Then just like if it's a 4-2-4, let's go 4-4-2. Like sure, it's not that. All you're saying is see the two guys there that were normally at home games against St Mirren and the other ones that we've played recently. I seen you get forward. We need you to be a bit deeper. Or actually, you know what? We're going to stick one of you through the middle because you're really fucking fast, and the other one's on the bench, and we're going to play Gamble and fucking Levitt.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more solid. And we've got midfielders doing midfieldy things, and we've got attackers doing attacky things, rather than that blend, which does work and has worked against teams that aren't better than us. When teams are better than you need to try and combat it a wee bit. And I don't think that means, because I think we spoke about before about it, compromising your beliefs and all that.
Yeah.
I think what we're saying is, well, I like the 4-4-2. I want you to do the 4-4-2. But there's different styles of 4-4-2, and sometimes we're fucking bombing on, but we're Ibrox a day, and they're fucking good, right? And again, we keep saying they're shite and all that, like or teams or people do, you know, and but they spend a lot of fucking more money than us, so they must be better than us, right? That would generally be how it would work. I know it doesn't always work, especially with Hibs, but the media have that. It's not even when we're talking about Hibs spending a lot more money than Livingston. It's no 20 fucking times the amount, is it?
Yeah.
So there's a different sort of variable there. I think we need to kind of answer your question. I think it was naive.
Needed a bit more pragmatism with it, really.
Yeah,
I get it. Like I've argued the case before about if that's how you want to play, and you've seen other managers do it with their teams where they've had to go through a bit of a hard time initially, but they've stuck with it, and then eventually it clicks, and then they do very well. And it is like, if you think we're a good team and you think we can play that way, then play that way and get good at it. Take the bloody nose, now and again while you're learning it. I can see the logic there. I think if you're a player, because that's one of the things that you've picked up on, or I've picked up for a number of interviews about players knowing what they need to do. Like they know the role, they know the system, and it makes it easier to play. So it never helped them yesterday. I think that's the problem, eh?
But what we're talking there, sorry mate, but what you're saying there is we've got plan A, and the plan B is to do plan A better, because we've not got like what's the you surely got to be able to change it and adapt it a wee bit, and one of the adaptations might have been, fuck me, they're too high up. Like we need to get deeper to combat that down, or they've all got a 2-on-1 or a man's free, so we need to.
Yeah,
you've got to be able to change it now and again, and that's no. compromising your belief. Even Brendan Rodgers got criticised for this because when he was good at Celtic the first time round, well, I'm not saying he's not good now, but you know what I mean. When he was really good, winning cups all the time and that. When they went to Europe, they used to get pumped, but he wouldn't change the way they played. But they were getting absolute fucking doings, and he wouldn't change it.
Postecoglou did the same.
Aye, but they continue to get pumped. Like it never ever changed. So like it's not like they ever went, all right, come on, I'm going to stick this, and we're going to learn fit, and we'll do it, and then we'll win the European Cup or the fucking UEFA Cup or whatever they're called now, because they never, they still just carried on getting pumped.
Aye, it's a fair point. A couple of things that also picked up from Montgomery's interview. Should the Rangers manager have been sent off for going back to the ball?
I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it, and if that's the rule, that's the rule. I think he said McInnes got sent off for it. I'm not really sure why he was bothered about it. Like, it was almost deflection. And maybe he should have at the time. Would it have made a difference?
I think so.
We should have been throwing rather than theirs or something. Is that what we're...
I think he said that it was like an insult to injury. And then foul on Joe Newell for the second one. What do you think?
I can see why it might have been. Like, it might have been at the other end. But I thought it was quite soft at the time. I thought Neil should have just done better. And I don't think the guy came in from behind. I think it was just some of the angles maybe looked like he did. I've seen it back on Sports Scene. Mm-hmm. I'm relying on, and it was Rangers TV commentary I had to listen to yesterday as well. I thought about muting it. That Tom fucking Hingman that used to do Top 107, he's a fucking nightmare, like, absolute nightmare. I mind he was on Top 107 back in the good old days. He tried to be the all-knowing fucking Hibs and Hearts guy and that. He's just a wee prick, eh? When it comes down to it. I don't know who the other boy was. I've heard worse though. I have heard worse for them. But they're persecuted. It's like, look at that, he's pulled his jersey and the referee's not even looked at it, and you're like, it's played the advantage, mate. Like, you get every other decision, calm the fuck down.
Mental.
But what was I actually talking about there? And I just changed the subject.
Junior's foul.
I think he should have done better. I think he was looking for the foul because he lost the ball rather than being fouled. If that's not too harsh.
Aye. I didn't think it was that much of a foul. You can't be like, I'm probably the worst.
I was surprised that comment when you made on the radio,
yeah. For claiming things when maybe it's no. I do try to be objective, but like, believe it or not, I do try, and you'll see, like, when we get one in our favour, I'll always call it out in that. Or like, Venty should have got a yellow card yesterday for pulling back the defender. So a shirt pull is a yellow. It's an automatic yellow, and it's not just in a wee shirt pull. It's like proper hold the boy back after they'd slipped. Should have been a yellow card to get it. So like, I didn't say everything goes against us all the time. So the Joe Newell one, I was like, we might have got it, we might not. It's one of these ones I can understand why we never got it. What I think didn't help though, and it might have been different, is if Celtic hadn't benefited from one like that at Ibrox. And it's probably, again, the McInnes thing, the fallout for the McInnes thing, they've probably gone, fuck it, I'm not doing that again, it's not worth the hassle. And that one, they've looked at it and gone, fuck it, it's not worth the... Because Rangers fucking talked about it for weeks. They were writing, they wrote to the SFA for an explanation. Fucking nonsense. It was a foul.
They've got a whole admin department just for that.
Aye. The Celtic one was a foul. That goal was rightly disallowed. And I think that didn't help us, because when they've looked at it, they've gone through that again. It's almost identical sort of situation.
I think that sometimes, we spoke about that before, and that's not to say, there's none of these things that have got to have made any difference yesterday. We weren't good, they were better. But these things that come up every time we play one of them, and we've got another one on Saturday. And we'll be talking about it next week, and it's mainly the reason is that we did get a decision is because the referee can't be bothered with the hassle and the admin that it creates.
Aye, the fallout for it. The last point before we go to the talking points, we had one decent half yesterday. First half, if we're being kind, was all right. Second half was shite. This is a pattern that we're seeing now. Like, we have a good 45 minutes. What's going on there? What needs to change to get us good for 90 minutes?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Deutsch, when he was on last week, was talking about how hard they were working in between. So I don't know. I was going to put it down to fitness, but it's no, is it? Well, he's mentioned their fittest team fitter, like the usual. You know, when a new manager comes in, it's
Aye.
like it's usually the manager that says it right enough. But the one they fit enough. But it's not always the second half that would drop off, is it? So you can't say it's fitness in the first half. You shouldn't be able to say it's
Yeah.
fitness in the first half. I don't know. Is it better players that can concentrate for longer? Do they need to do like some Derry Brown shit and get concentrating longer? Like because it must be due to concentration in that because they've seen they've got ability, we've seen they can do stuff. We've been told they're fitter than they were. So why are you not doing it then? Must be no concentrating, or something else. I don't know what else is it.
Aye. So, I had a conversation with my neighbour yesterday. We were coming at the cars at the same time. Yesterday evening, I was saying about the game and saying, asked him, what's it like in a team? When you have a game like this where
Because
nothing's
he's a
going your way,
professional footballer for
right?
context.
Aye,
Yeah.
for context, he says, it's a nightmare. He says, they're doing well now, right? So he plays for Wraith. Right? Wraith are doing well now. Because he said, I can't remember the players. He said, there were three players in the team that when you're having a game like that, they'll smash somebody. They can.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do something to get a reaction. We've talked about it before on here. That sort of we didn't have that yesterday. Like everybody just accepted, or that's how it looked like. They accepted that, this is their day. Let's just get through the fucking 90 minutes. We need that when we're having a bad half, somebody to kind of go and say, boys, this isn't happening like this. We need to up the game.
Yeah.
But you need that on the pitch. You shouldn't wait for the manager to like either a big talk before the game or a big talk at half time. You need folk out on the pitch that are going, we need to do something about it now. It's frustrating. Anyway, right.
Yeah.
Let's get to the talking points. Jeff Ashton said 3 very preventable goals. Final ball when we did get forward was generally poor and just a lack of belief, it seemed. I expect a big reaction next week. That was a very poor Stickies team, by the way.
I don't know how poor it is, but I agree about the reaction, and I don't know if it's a good thing at Celtic because it's my worry. You know what my worry is? Because we know we need to stick with a manager, right? But folk, the radio already last night were starting to turn. Or you know what I was thinking? It was just the radio. I think I seen it on Twitter and that as well. Hibs fans turning the undefeated, well, not undefeated anymore, but the undefeated run into a 2 wins in 9 thing.
Aye.
I think, well, has he even been here for 9 games, or are we counting Lee Johnson games again here now? Aye. And then if we lose to Celtic, then we go into the semi-final, or we've got St Mirren maybe, Ross County, and then the semi-final, is it? But you're almost going into this, I think I forgot about that game on Halloween.
So Marnock, is it Halloween?
Ross County.
Ross County, so it is.
Easter Road, it's the £10 and £5 game. But you've got that. Right, so I had forgot about that game. So I'm going, right, we play Rangers, we've been pumped, we play Celtic, we might get pumped. And then we're going to the semi-final, and everybody goes, if we lose that, he's out. I'll say everybody, but there'll be an element. And there's the danger there of us being on a fucking, like the board getting under pressure again.
It's mental,
to sack somebody because we've got fans that'll start shouting that, even though it's Rangers and Celtic, and I'm going to sound like acting like how the players maybe reacted yesterday, but we kind of expect to get beat off Rangers and Celtic most of the time, based on budgets and quality of player and all that. That doesn't mean you can't put up a fight and try, but we can't be expecting to win even half those games. I don't think. I think you're looking into the 1 in, I don't know, 2 in 10, 1 in 5, whatever you would call it.
If you get a couple over a couple of
seasons, and even 1 in 5.
Well.
I was going to say 1 in 5. That's like less than 1 a season. Is that about right? I don't know. Is that me being negative and no having high enough expectations? I don't know.
I don't think there's many teams have got a better record than that against them. Do you know, even like Aberdeen beat Rangers at Ibrox this season, but they hadn't done that for fucking decades, I think. I think that was the stat. Had been fucking ages since they'd done it. Motherwell were getting a lot of plaudits for how they played against them, but they lost. Do you know, like it's?
Yeah.
I would say the stats probably back up what you're saying there. I'd be interested to see what the reaction is next week. I suppose this is like yesterday was the first really big test for Montgomery. You say the Derby, right? Derby's a big test, and he probably gets pass marks because we never lost, and it was away from home.
But even at that, when you look at the performance, it wasn't brilliant, eh? And
No.
that 20 that I was going to say that 20 minutes, that fucking 80 seconds bailed us out.
I think that's maybe a wee bit unfair because I think by the end of the first half we were playing decent. In the second half we were quite good in that game, I would have said. But yesterday, the biggest test so far against the best team we played since Montgomery's got in, the team were miles off it. Like it's nowhere near acceptable.
It'll be interesting to see if he changes it next week as well. Like if he goes 4-2-4 again.
I think he will.
I think there's a, and I don't know if I'm talking over somebody's points here because I've not read them all. I've seen some of them coming in last night, but playing Boyle or Yuan through the middle in a game like this, where like pace troubles any team.
Yeah,
and they're pacey as fuck. So I wonder if playing one of those two through the middle and tightening the midfield up a wee bit would maybe be a better option. But.
Aye. Jake Gapper said, "Is this all the Hibs Rambles' fault?" Obviously, we'll stay out of that, right? If LJ was still in charge today, what would you have thought or said about today's performance, i.e. players letting down the manager or manager all at sea with the tactics? Had not seen it yet, but should come on, have been sent off if McInnes was for Kelly. But
I think the argument was McInnes shouldn't have been sent off, eh? Like I think all the folk want. Did they not was it second yellow McInnes got sent off for as well? I don't know. Who cares? I don't give a fuck. Like I don't give a fuck. There was more to worry about than that.
And if LJ was still in charge today, how would the reaction have been? The defeat.
He would. Oh, it'd be terrible. But you know what? Like he had a lot more. He never had as much credit in the bank. Like you never ever. And I say that, and I'm now just talking about the stats getting turned on their head, but we can't just go and start barring managers all the time. Like we're not expecting to go there and win. It's because we got a doing. Like, and it could have been more than 4. I never said that in a wee bit at the start. Like it could have comfortably been 7. Like they had one-on-ones at the post. You know, it was pretty fucking bad. Fours actually quite flattering.
Aye. Fucking grim. On the defending yesterday, we never really kind of talked about the defending. Was you would say comical if it wasn't Ken. Like obviously we're not laughing about it, but you're watching it and going, "Fucking what are they doing?" Like all over the place. Players diving in when they shouldn't be diving in, falling over, fucking way
standing
position
still when they shouldn't be. It was fucking unbelievable.
Fucking hell. Dave Thompson said they did look scared. You don't get with Glasgow with points unless you get 11 players with strong pass marks.
Fair point. Yeah.
Aye.
I would probably agree with that, based on what we've just been talking about the last 20 minutes.
McCann said, to think we had 2 weeks to prepare for today's game. Okay, a few away on international duty, but Christ, we looked disinterested from early doors. I honestly think they were there for the taking if we were on it from the start.
We did have 2 weeks to prepare. We didn't have many on international duty. We got told the preparation was good and hard. I don't know if they're there for the taking though. Like they beat most teams home and away every week.
Mm-hmm. It's an interesting one. I think like we definitely could have given them more at game. I think that's the thing is you can't tell because we were so poor. You can't tell. Like if we'd been a bit more on it, and you think like so. Miller and Boyle were away with Australia, but they weren't away to Australia. Right? They were playing in. What was the other game? Was they played in
Brentford? So London, they were doing right. London, yeah.
So, it's no like they've got like jet lag to contend with and all the rest of it.
Rocky would have been away, was he?
Rocky was away, yeah, but he
never started.
Yeah, came off the bench. So. I don't know, but we were just, it's so hard to pinpoint what went wrong other than the players froze a bit. Right, 150k on Hanlon Hill said Rangers did a levy on us. Counter-attack, that shite defence. No midfield and 4 up top that didn't touch the ball. Rangers were shite and pumped us.
What the shite, I don't know. Maybe we made them look like world beaters then, I don't know. But maybe I'm being blinded with that. But I don't disagree with really any of that, other than I don't know if Rangers were shite. I don't know if we just say that as an automatic, like, because we can't accept that they're maybe better than us
They're
as
a good
well.
team.
Like, aye, we don't, or we don't want to. We don't know, but they're not a bad side.
I think.
All this, they're shite and all that. I don't know if that's true, but
I think to be fair, there's been times where Rangers have beat us, like Hunter Gerrard's. I think we came and talked about them being the best team we'd seen at Easter Road. Like that season, the way that Rangers had played turned us over.
Mhm.
I think we definitely give Rangers credit where it's due. I just think they had to work hard for the win yesterday, and they worked harder than us.
Yeah.
But it was fucking easy for them, like so
Aye,
easy.
maybe. So maybe they didn't even have to be that good.
Aye,
And that's probably more disappointing. Whether they were shite, there's maybe somewhere in between. Eh?
yeah.
They were alright, but we were that bad that it made them look fucking good.
Cal said you can't set up playing 4-2-4 with that back four away in big games. Manager needs to formulate a plan B fast. Is it right? So I was thinking about this yesterday, and the defence is clearly an issue. Right, we can't keep clean sheets. The last clean sheet we had was against Dundee, where we also didn't score. Our goals against is fucking awful. We've got a goalkeeper that doesn't save the shots that he's expected to save a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
does make not great save. But also you talk about defending for the front. The managers talk about it a lot. Yesterday, I thought the defence were let down badly by the players in front of them as well. So the defence made loads of mistakes. I'm not trying to get them off the hook here, but Yuan was awful. Venti was anonymous in the game. Boyle, fucking terrible. Like Boyle was like a man down yesterday. You've got three players there that should be contributing to help the defence that were posted missing. And then your two central midfielders didn't get a grip on the game at all either.
No, but they're getting over. You're leaving it to them, aren't you? Basically, that formation
Yeah.
is, and that's what I'm saying about tightening the midfield up, because that all ties into because the midfield helps the defence, and we've not got a midfield. We've got the A2, and that's it. And they're getting overrun because there's generally three against them.
Aye.
So they're just like they're already up against it, and then they're having to try and get back and help out them who maybe aren't as good as we could do with them being anyway. But they need help. But even if they were better, they would still be needing help. But we've not got anybody that they do because we've got four up there going, we'll get the ball to us. We're fast in attacking players.
On the defence issue, right? So this season, right? Because it's at and I'm probably going to answer my own question here, just by default. Miller, I think everybody's happy with Miller at right back.
Most of the time.
Fish hasn't been great this season, but I think everybody's happy with him in general. He's a good player. Then you've got Hanlon and you've got Abita that started right. So Abita seems to be the preferred option to Stevenson, as he should be because he's the new signing. And Marshall in goals. Is it Marshall and Hanlon that need to come out of that defence and get the place to be better? Or is everybody at risk?
I think everybody should be at risk. I do. I mean, there'll be places you start, and they're probably the obvious ones to start at. But I think they'll all be being assessed.
Okay.
I think like that is the. I mean, see when Abita signed, did they sign him as a left back or did they think he was a left midfielder?
Left back, he was Player of the Year for his team as left back the season before.
See, because one move to tighten up the midfield would be to stick him in midfield and stick Stevenson in at left back again, and then that feels like tighter defensively to me right away.
Yeah. All right, John Mitchell said defence is definitely an issue, and I'm afraid Marshall was finished. I think they're pretty much over. We're just saying, do you think Wallacott comes in for the Celtic game, or do you think Marshall keeps his place? But he was on the bench.
Right. I assumed when we signed him he was, but then it's Johnson signing. I assumed when we signed him that he was going to be. We were going to find the first opportunity to get him in the team, and then he got injured probably at the wrong time.
Aye.
Actually, when he got in the side, I don't know if they would change it for the Celtic game. I don't know. It depends, I suppose, when they watch the video back today, they'll watch it and go, "Fucking hell, we need to do something about this." But they've been raving it. They've been talking Marshall up. Possibly, and by the way, he made some good saves.
He has.
He did.
Yeah.
But It is slow to get down there. I mean, we've seen it last season with a couple of penalties, and I know you're not expected to save penalties, but you look at it and you go, you could have saved that if you were a wee bit quicker. Mind, they went through his body in that.
Aye.
And that was the signs of him going down slowly. Even the thing is, yesterday night, and this is going to sound like me being an arsehole, but his distribution wasn't good either. Like, he fucking kept going straight out to them, and it's like that was getting him away with it last season because folk are wanting, oh, he's got this good distribution, so we'll not worry about him no saving stuff. He's not doing that much either now. So, that's no, because we're not asking him to. We're just saying, just roll it out to the fullback who's standing right beside the centre half who's standing right beside you. So we didn't need his distribution. We didn't need a keeper that's got good distribution anymore. We just need goalies to save stuff because your defenders are meant to be doing the distributing.
Okay, the Hibs are here. Said we can't play defend with break attacks. Our strength is our attackers and should be our number one strategy to always attack. Yet we chose to force a 36-year-old striker to come deep to look for the ball. The defence isn't great either, is it? So and that one, I suppose it's that, like you were saying, about you set a gung-ho formation, but then didn't go gung-ho.
But the strikers have to come deep because Venti was doing that in other games as well, but that's because we need an extra man in midfield. So one of the strikers is dropping into midfield to do that because the midfield's getting overrun. Even in the games when we're getting away with it because of Boyle and Ewan's pace, a striker, Venti was always coming in, a lot of the times dropping into midfield. And now it's Lafondre.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's his name right there.
Yeah, he did.
Aye, sorry, I thought say it wrong. Just play midfielder in there then. And play on the striker.
Or get the ball forward quicker, which is other.
Yeah. Do you know, that's not about passing the ball in that would create new complaints.
Yeah. Aye, it is, but like, if you've got like a paces weapon there, right, that you're looking at the wingers who are very fast.
Kick in front of them, let them chase it.
Aye. So you need to get in behind.
That's what you used to do with Sproul. I mean, Mikey Stewart was brilliant. Boom, there you go, right in front of you, fucking run. And when Sproul struggled was, and I can't remember going back 20 years or whatever, but when he came back the second time, folk would play the ball at his feet. Aye. And he would dance about on it. And you kick it in front of him. Kick it in front of him. That's where he's at his best.
That's what we needed to do yesterday. Like, if you're going to try and get in behind the defence, then get in behind the defence. Like, the only way to do that is to get it forward quickly. Didn't get them time to settle in. Vince Robinson said a performance Jack Ross would be talking about fine margins about. It was a fine margin for Rangers.
What was that? Jack Ross would have been talking about a fine margin of 4-0. Did we lose 4-0 at Ibrox?
Did you take a 6 at Ibrox one time?
Was that? What did he?
I think that was.
Was that him?
Might have been.
Is that many managers, mate? I can't remember.
Aye, it's hard to keep up. But
was that when Scott Allen got sent off? Maybe no. Did he get sent off? Or no? Was that when Scott Allen made that pass? There was a 6-1.
Aye,
and everybody talked about how good the pass was.
Aye, that was 6-1. The game we won the passing. We won the best pass competition. I think so. Because it
was fine margins after that game.
It wasn't Lennon, was it? No, I doubt he would have done.
It couldn't have been Lennon.
Freddie said keeper not good enough, defence not good enough, midfield not good enough, nothing up front. We're a mid-table side. When we play Celtic and Rangers, it shows how poor we are. Rocky, Hanlon and Newell, for example, might be fine against Ross County, but fuck me.
We've not seen against Ross County yet. That's a couple of weeks' time. Or next week. Everybody's a mid-table side, apart from Rangers and Celtic. Like, that's what happens if there's about 10 teams fighting to get in the top 6.
I mean, that's a fair point as well. I mean, what are we, 9th for now? But
I think we're struggling. I seen Ewan for down the slope posting. Was it on Twitter? I can't remember if it was one of the group chats, and he said 2 point. Came up and got to look it up.
2 points off the playoff, I think it was.
Aye. And we've nearly done a round of games. You know, it's not like we're saying. It's not like we're saying, oh, well, everybody's not played each other and all that yet. You know, we're actually 2-3 games and we're...
the round of fixtures.
We've been round everybody, and that's normally a point where you go, we've got 9 points, and Ross County's on 7 in the playoff. They've got 2 games in hand on us. So is Dundee.
Fucking hell. That's grim, isn't it?
But I 5 points clear of the bottom place, we've got a game in hand on us.
This was the point Tom English was made. I can loads of folk didn't agree with Tom English about him, sort of questioning that perception that we're a good team and chucking the stats out. But actually, the league table is showing we're no good team.
No.
Freddie's point there is probably bang on. Like he's probably being kind to say we're mid-table because.
However, right, but everybody's mid-table, right? Hearts are fourth, and they're 4 points off the playoff spot.
All right, so.
And they've got a game in hand on them, the Ross County, so and Dundee, right? So everybody is a mid-table side. It just so happens that some of them are at the top end of the mid, and everybody's fighting for that third to fucking 10th place. And then you've got the outlier like St Johnstone.
John Doherty said didn't look like we had a plan and eventually just gave up trying. Completely unacceptable. It was as bad as anything under Johnson. Yeah. I do think yesterday was as bad as anything under Johnson. I would go I've no qualms in saying that. Like,
yeah, and you could say, well, it's the same players, right? But the point was we got a new manager when we got a new manager and we spoke about it in here, the club must have spoken about it because they sacked the manager in September. Must have been September. There's no window till January, so then he start coming and bleating about didn't you get 3 windows under your belt and all that stuff, like make the cuts better.
Alan Duncan said the players again have no belief and are beaten before the game starts. Poor decision making and a lack of effort. To play the way Monty wants, it's 100% from the kickoff or the plan won't work. Players must give their all for the whole game, not just when in possession. It's nail on the head stuff there, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
JK 1976 said Monty got it all wrong. He needs to learn and fast that 4-4-2 does not work at tougher venues away from home. I'd hoped he might have learned his lesson at Tiny 2 weeks ago, but clearly not. I think we probably spoke about that as well. Karen Hannon needs 2 keepers, 3 centre halves, 3 decent midfielders, and that's just for starters.
Just to start the game.
Just to start with 2 keepers a day. Could have done with it. I don't know if they're that bad, right?
2 keepers, we've got keepers. We maybe need to change it. The keeper.
Aye. You think what chuck the baby out with the bathwater, right? There has been signs of improvement, right? We've all talked about it. Everybody's been pretty positive up until yesterday. Everybody's been quite, things are looking good. We're quite happy with the manager, quite happy with how the team's looking. We had a stinker yesterday. I think it's time to throw the baby out with the bathwater and just go, right, you need to rip up the whole squad and start again. Yeah. I think you kind of go, right, let's take a wee breath, take a step back and say, right, what do we actually keep? Goalkeeper's definitely an issue, but we've got a boy on the bench that we've signed in the summer with a view to playing, right? You would think. So hopefully that sorts that one out. The centre half, I think we've got an issue with one position in the centre half that we didn't have a replacement for Paul Hanlon yet. That's no criticism of Hanlon. I just didn't think he's the answer there now. Like the club should have replaced him better than they have before now.
He had a chance yesterday to score as well. It's when he went with his head rather than his foot, I thought. But
fluffed his lines, didn't he? The midfield looks all right, and the forwards are fine.
On paper, it is. But
Neil Renton said, "What went wrong? My driving lesson finished at 4. Let's see, caught some in the game. Unlucky, Neil." Patrick McManus said, "Sometimes players don't stand up and be counted; they go in their shell." And I think that's the case with some players. Aye. I think I kind of made the joke about it because Lafondra had said we need to go and stand up and be counted, and we stood still to be counted.
Yeah.
Yesterday it was like fucking Rangers were playing chain and cones. Ray Forsyth said, "What went wrong is we played a team who were better than us. Old Firm losses don't bother me too much."
See, they do though. Well, maybe not him. And I get the sentiment, right, because I've kind of said that, but it's when you get doing, it's like, put up a fight. Like, if you get beat, but then you get fucking hammered like that. Because that comes into the conversation we had on when we used to do those spaces things about free hits.
Aye.
Right? That's damaged. That's damaged the brand. That's damaged the manager's brand. It's damaged some of the credibility of the players. And next time we get beat, that'll get used again. It's not a free hit.
No.
And it does bother you. It does bother me because it's such a doing. If they come away with a 1-0, then you would go, well, at least they battled. They tried 1-0, they've got bigger budgets, better players and all that. And they got a goal, or you would be, came out, I was even saying, we were sitting, 4 of us sitting watching it yesterday, and I'm going, I've not even got anything more about like a fucking red card, it wasn't a red card, or a penalty, it wasn't a penalty.
There's
I've not
no
even got the
injustices.
optics on it.
Calvin Brown said, "Do fans overreact? Yes, we were poor and it's disappointing, but people are so emotional. New defence, January can't come quick enough." In inverted commas for those. The financial gap between us and them is massive. How can we compete other than a one-off? Our season won't be defined by Ibrox away.
But yesterday was a one-off. Didn't it? We never competed.
Yeah. What about the overreacting thing?
Point. Well, we do. I mean, I know I've probably overreacted. If I was to listen back to this, which I won't be, but if I listen back to this, I'd probably go, fucking that. I'd listen to this again on Wednesday or Thursday or something, and you go, fuck's sake, is that what you were saying? But you do overreact, don't you? You overreact when we win as well.
I mean, this is the thing, and it's football is emotional.
Look at us, listen to the Derby one. If we were to listen back to the Derby, because we got a 2-2 draw, because we played it all right at times, and we had a good minute and a half to get the goals, we're probably like bouncing on here. Like, just a 2-2 draw. We played all right in.
Aye. Right, next two tweets kind of tie into each other, but from different sides of things, right? And probably no stuff that we really want to be spending time talking about, but Jack Taylor said static midfield and anodyne defence. The worst moment, however, was a Police Scotland officer suggesting if you don't like sectarianism, don't come. What can you say? And then Davy Mack, who's a Rangers fan, said nice messages left in our seats, guys. Shows class, dignity, and a level of humanism lost on most. Obviously, a lot reported about the graffiti left on the seats, and I think that the issue, there's a number of issues I have with the graffiti on the seats and stuff like that. Is we're normally the good guys. Do you know, like when it's Hibs and Rangers, we're normally the good guys, and we can take a fucking moral high ground because we didn't stoop to that sort of level. And then you see that, and it gives those cunts something to fucking moan about. It gives them and they didn't miss it, by the way. They go straight away. It's in the papers. They're like, "Oh, look how what these bastards have done," and there's all the outraged at everything and embarrassed at nothing stuff that you can throw at Rangers, right? And it's fucking absolutely right that you do, because they're the fucking worst. But then we do something like that, and you're sort of lost for words. You go, what do you say? It's just fuck. And folk thought about it. It wasn't like they've gone, "Oh, we're getting humped in a bad mood." They've went in, and I just didn't get it. I didn't get what goes through somebody's head to think that that's all right.
Yeah.
And it does leave us then sort of, you're in an indefensible position. You can't justify
You can't defend that. No. And I wouldn't even try and defend that, because you just think, like, take the thing out. Nobody would do that about Hillsborough. Nobody would do that. So why are we doing it just because it's Rangers that's involved? It's not right. But and then you get criticised about what about it if you were to say anything else. So we can't defend that, and the fuck just move on, because otherwise they'll be fucking watching this, try to clip bits together to make us look fucking stupid.
Aye. Right. The Droog said Ewan Starton shouldn't be right. So just before that, Hibs need to do what Rangers did though, and come out and fucking call it out. Like Rangers were absolutely right to go and say that's fucking unacceptable, and Hibs' response to it was brilliant as well, to say, "I will deal with it," because that's absolutely what Hibs should do. But when it happens at Easter Road, or when we hear the songs that Hibs should be saying, "We're not accepting it for them," and I think that's the what about it a bit. But that's what I would take away for that, is say absolutely deal with the folk that did that, unacceptable. But I want to see Hibs doing what Rangers did and come out and call it out, and make a fucking noise about it. The Droog said Ewan Starton shouldn't be a given. I actually think everybody starting shouldn't be a given. You know what I mean? Like every player needs to fight for the place. DJ 1875 said, "Love the idea of a system, but fuck me, you have to have really good players to execute it." I think we've covered that. Gez said, "We were very poor, didn't seem to move out of first gear, waiting patiently for an opening that was never going to come. Same goalkeeping issues, 8 shots on target and 4 goals. That's an average of 1 goal every 2 shots, and it's an average that spans much further than one game." Homo Hibs also said Marshall should retire. It's costing us. Same with Hanlon. Bashiri isn't the answer either. We kind of spoke about this. Richard Ferinde said was very poor. Rangers have been suffering. and changed manager. New boss couldn't have wished for an easier start. Hibs didn't manage to put them under any pressure or bring Rangers fans' frustrations into the game. And the last couple, and then we're kind of out of time. Stuart McKenzie said, "Heartless, and what do they do in the training ground? 3 of them round us when we have it, and they run 30 yards before anyone goes near. Also, where does Ball get his ice skates for? They look belters." And James S. said, "Poor on the ball, couldn't control or pass, poor off the ball, no fight or desire. Defence posted missing the whole game. The beat a blowing out his arse the whole game. Midfield too lightweight, wanting these wins, or he could be in trouble early."
See, there we go. We're starting. You know what I mean? It's like we need to. He doesn't. He shouldn't be in trouble, right? Unless we lose. Like it's the first game he's lost, right? You can spin the stats and say how many he won, though, if you want. But we need to. Like we can't just chop and change managers again yet. Like he's lost 1 game.
Aye.
Like and it was to Rangers. If he loses to Celtic as well, he's lost 2 games and it's to Rangers and Celtic. Like that's going to be a constant for any manager we have. Aye. We can't base it on that.
No.
And we can't base it on a month, 6 weeks. What is it a month he's been here? 6 weeks?
Well, that was his 6th game, was it? 6th or 7th game. So
middle of September, eh?
Aye.
So
you need to give the guy time. I mean, I think that should go without saying. And also, he needs wins. Like every manager needs wins. Like that again should go without saying. But
and those draws are what's actually impacting that league table we mentioned, because the draws that he has had, that he's not, like the draw at Kelly and the draw with home to Dundee, that would put us, we'd be right up there and challenging for 3rd because of the way the league table is. You know, that's another 4 points. We're 13. We're 2 points ahead of 4th place. We'd be 4th and maybe 2 points behind 3rd.
Aye.
But we should have won at Kelly and we should have beat Dundee at home.
But we didn't. Right. Anyway, that's us out of time. Thanks very much for all your talking points. Sorry if we didn't get to yours. We just we only have so long. I think we kind of covered all the main points anyway that came through. We will have extra time. We're not decided on a topic, but if you're a subscriber, we'll have extra time. That'll be out on Wednesday morning. And you can subscribe by going to our Twitter and clicking on the wee link in our profile. Thanks also for all the kind feedback about the Christian Doidge episode. If you've not heard that, that interview's on our YouTube or on your podcast player. It's really good. Right, thanks, and we'll see you next time. Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink what I know.